Canelo Alvarez and Jermell Charlo are facing each other on September 30th, and pros have put their predictions in. Terence Crawford definitely believes that both fighters bring a lot of skill to the ring, but he thinks that Canelo will end up winning. Terence stated, "I got Canelo. I think that's going to be a good fight. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Charlo, but he's skillful, he's big, and he's bigger than Canelo. Even though Canelo is at a higher weight, I think Canelo is going to be stronger than him. I think Canelo is going to be more powerful than him. But at the same time, I think Charlo has the boxing skills to make it a competitive fight. If he uses his jab, straight punches, and doesn't get caught up with all the feints and stuff that Canelo throws, I think it'd be competitive." Evander Holyfield likes Canelo as a fighter, but he thinks that Canelo's age will play a factor. Evander stated, "It should be a good fight. Both of these fighters are good fighters. If it goes the distance, I think Charlo is going to win if it goes the distance. He's a good boxer with good stamina. I've seen the kid ever since he was 13 years old because I was training in Houston, Texas at the time, and he's a good fighter. I know Canelo is a good fighter, but Canelo is a little older, and I'm telling you, it's time for the young to show the older guy. You stand out too long and somebody's going to get you. It's good to see how young people don't quit." Bernard Hopkins thinks that Canelo will have to get Charlo early if he's going to end things easily. Bernard stated, "His style is totally different from the styles that Canelo has fought. Charlo is younger, more determined to prove that Canelo's time has been great, but it's up. I just believe that Canelo will have to get him out of there early. The later the fight goes, the more Canelo will start showing not only his age, but he'll start showing the success he's been enjoying for so long is starting to look different." Abel Sanchez thinks the fight will go the distance, and he sees Canelo just beating the out of Jermell. Abel stated, "I think Canelo by decision because Charlo is a good fighter. Charlo to me is the kind of fighter who will step up to the competition and will give Canelo a hard time early. But I think Canelo eventually catches up with him, maybe puts him down, and wins a 116 to 112 decision, something like that. Canelo's not a devastating puncher, but he's a concussive puncher. He just hits you and hits you. He's very busy, he lands his punches, and he's going to beat the heck out of you. So I think that he beats on Charlo. I'm not going to say Charlo quits, but maybe he quits in his mind and stops trying to win and just survives. But I still think he gives him a tough fight." Marco Antonio Barrera thinks that Canelo will win simply because of the weight jump that Jermell has to do. Marco stated, "It's a good fight, I like it. I think Canelo is going to win the fight because Charlo has to come up 14 pounds. That's a lot of weight. But I think it's going to be a good fight." Sean Porter understands the big size difference, but he doesn't really think that it's going to be that big of a factor. Sean stated, "Once you move past the size, because I think that's where everyone thinks is a point-blank answer that Canelo is going to win this fight. Let's look at the facts. We all lose weight to get to our weight class, which means Charlo's losing weight to get to 154. He's not a natural 154-pounder fighter. He's probably more of a natural 160, if not a natural 168. So let's put that out there on the record that this is an even fight. But when you look at experience, when you look at the fact that Canelo has been multidimensional throughout his career, you look at the fact that he has the work rate. We're looking at a right hand from Jermell Charlo, and if that right hand doesn't land between rounds 1 and 8, it probably won't land at all, and Canelo wins this fight. I don't see him losing to Charlo." Malik Scott gave a nice breakdown of what he expects out of the fight.
When the going gets tough and the tough get going, he always gets tougher to me. I never see him break under pressure. And I think it's going to be a pivotal moment in the fight where he's going to feel something he's never felt before. But I think he could pass the test with flying colors. I truly, truly do. As stubborn as he come across outside the ring, I believe his genius is all inside the ring.
Tim Tszyu wasn't too happy about the fight announcement, but he thinks that Jermell is going to lose. Tim stated, "I feel like once he gets into the ring against Canelo, he will be stripped straight away. I think that fight's undisputed versus undisputed. It's the marketing part of the fight, and we all know that's how this boxing game works. But I will be the WBO world champion afterwards, 100% guaranteed. I think he gets his ass whooped. Charlo is going to lose, but he was going to lose his next fight no matter what. It was either me or Canelo. So he decides to take the one with the bigger payday. Simple. Adrien Broner was torn between each fighter, but he can't go against Jermell. Adrien stated, "I love Canelo, but I just can't go against Charlo. We ain't got the best relationship in the world, but I'm not going against my I can't. I'm not doing it. It ain't going to ever happen, and I hope he wins, and I'm betting." Liam Smith definitely didn't see this fight coming, and he had his prediction ready to go. Liam stated, "Crazy, I didn't expect that. The same way nobody expected it. It's madness. I don't fancy Charlo at all. Canelo wins and wins easily." David Benovitz thinks there will be a learning curve for Jermell, but he doesn't doubt his ability.
Do you think Jermell's going to take care of business, or do you think Canelo is going to be a little too much?
I think the skill set is both paired up. I just think Canelo weighs a little bit too much, or he's more used to that weight class. He's used to the punches. I don't doubt Charlo, landing some big punches on Canelo, because he's a great fighter. He can take nothing away from him. I feel like the advantage just goes to Canelo. He's heavier, he's more comfortable. Yeah, but it's going to be a great fight.
Bob Arum thinks that the fight will end in a knockout, and he stated, "Canelo will beat him easy. The little Charlo, he's nothing. Canelo will probably knock him out in the 6th or 7th round." Austin Trout has faith in Jermell, but he's worried about the inactivity. Austin stated, "I'm pulling for Charlo. I think Charlo had everything it takes to beat Canelo, but we ain't seen him in 2 years. That's the only reason I'm questioning it. If this was 2 years ago, I'm picking Charlo. The only question is his inactivity. Canelo hasn't been looking great. He's not the same as he was before. But he's been active, he's been training, and he's been busy. I'm not saying Charlo hasn't been training, but he ain't been fighting. It's going to be in Charlo's hometown, which will probably give him a bit more ambition to win. The only thing I'm looking at which is not good for Charlo is his inactivity." Mike Tyson sees Canelo winning, but he thinks he needs to make one adjustment to his game. Mike stated, "I think Canelo should beat him, overpower him, but Canelo's not moving his head anywhere. That other guy was hitting him, and that gave him the confidence. He believes he can hit Canelo." Shakur Stevenson really wants Jermell to win, but he sees Canelo being a tough opponent for him. Shakur stated, "I want Jermell to win, but Canelo's a tough task. I could see him shocking the world though. I think Canelo's still young. He's younger than both Errol and Bud, and Triple G is the only one who really hit him. I think it's going to be a good fight. I think it's a 50-50, but I could see Charlo shocking the world. I'm still sticking with that." When Oscar De La Hoya was asked what he thought of the fight, he saw this as a win-win situation for Jermell. Oscar stated, "From my expertise opinion, moving up 2 weight classes, first of all, I take my hat off to Charlo for doing that. I understand that it's a great payday for him, and obviously he took that into consideration when making the decision to fight Canelo. But it's gonna be a tough task. I mean, 2 weight divisions is historical if he wins, and 2 weight divisions if he loses. He has the perfect excuse. So it's a win-win for Charlo, but I don't think Canelo wins anything by beating Charlo. I don't think it makes Canelo look bad. I just think it's not a win-win for Canelo. That's it." If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.